cathedral in downtown Dallas. And as we can see, so they zoom in, maybe you can't see it, but in this circle right here, we have an example of rotation. Because if you see the little shapes that are right there around the circle, the smaller circle in the middle, the rotating around the circle, you have the little pointing arrows right there. Those little pointing arrows always point towards the inside of the smaller circle. As we zoom out from this, we can also see another example of translation. As we can see right here, the little pillars are translated from one side to the other. So those are pretty good examples found in the church. You can actually see more things, but we're gonna keep on walking and looking at some other things around downtown Dallas. So we're here at Clyde Warren Park, Janes Lane, and as you can see, this is a beautiful park right in the middle of downtown and American Airlines. And what we have here are some arches. I don't know if you guys can see them. There you go. There's one arch. There's one arch. And then we have another one. And then as we go in, we can see more and more. These arches are a great example of translation. You see how one arch translating to the other one, to the other one, to the other one. What do you think these arches are kind of telling us? You see how they seem to get narrow and narrow as we go more into it, inwards? These arches are kind of telling us like, come here, walk this way. So as we walk, we enter more and more into the park. See, we're walking, it's kind of letting us in all the way to the other side of the park. So this is like a little pathway into the park, and from there we can see all the things like the playground. We have over here the food trucks and things like that. So you see like a nice arch translation can actually lead people into something. Okay, let's continue with our. So I know we talked about arches a little bit earlier on, but here still at the Clyde Warren Park, you can see another example of an arch. Where do you think this arch is leading us into? What do you see in there?
Oh yeah.
Let's take a look. So it's kind of like we have doors, it's kind of inviting us in to a park. A little kids playground. So you can see a nice archway leading us inside into the. You can see right here, as I zoom in, the Bank of America building. And what shape do you guys think this is? It's longer, you can't really see it because that other building covers. And I'm sure if I get a little bit closer, I'm not going to be able to get it all. But just imagine it's a little bit longer down. But what shape can you tell that this is? You're right, guys. This is a rectangular prism. And what happens with rectangular prisms? We talked about it before. If you split it in half, let's see. Do you all see this dark line in the middle? Yeah, right there. Well, that dark line, if you cut the building in half, what do you think you're going to have? Sorry? What do you guys think you're going to have? You're right again. You're going to have two equal parts, which make this building, if we split it into half that way, a reflection. Also, if we look at sideways, we split it in half again, do you think we're going to have the same parts again? Yeah, pretty much so. So, let's continue with our scavenger hunt around downtown, trying to find these shapes. So, here we are, my friends, again, at the Chase building. As you can tell, it has a little Chase sign. Okay, and buildings, as we can tell, are great examples of reflection. You are correct. You see, they made it easier for us, and they put a little line, like a little slit in the middle. And that slit kind of shows us that if we split the building into half, we're going to have two equal parts, making it a translation, just like that Bank of America building back then. I don't think I told you that, but yeah, this is the Chase building and the other one's a Bank of America building, showing us about reflection. So there you go, a reflection. Again, the slit down the middle. We can split the building into two. And we have a reflection of the building. You see right here we have a cone. And this is one of our 3D shapes. So this cone is kind of used as decoration for the church. As you can tell, I don't think we can go around. But you see you have two cones hanging out of there. There are two cones reflecting one another. It's kind of just, those two cones are kind of just like telling us there's something in here. Come in and see it. Let's see if we can get to the other side. And maybe, like I was saying, we have the two cones reflecting one another. Then we have one on the left side, one on the right side. And it's kind of leading us into this garage, which is the parking for the church as well as the symphony hall. It's kind of like telling us, like, look here, there's something that you might be interested in. And then also, it leads us onto these stairs that you have right here. And these are pretty small, kind of steep stairs, but you walk them with ease. And then we have a little rest, a little long walkway that stairs are kind of leading us into. And then we have another kind of relaxed little steps, small steps, and it leads us into this art piece, like amazing art piece. As you can see, the stairs are rectangular prisms that can lead us into something as well. Sorry guys, I forgot to mention, right here we're at the church again. We have another example of an arch, kind of like translating from one little arch right here to the next one into the church. So that arch is kind of leading us one more time into the church. Showing you an example of something leading us somewhere, which is the arches. What many of the buildings here in downtown, or many of the things in downtown, use it for. They're usually around doors, so you can tell. But also right here in the crosses we have another example of reflection. Those little two crosses, circles, they reflect one another. So yeah. Right here we have windows again. And in the middle, as you can tell, we have kind of like a cylinder shaped window. And then in the middle we have a square, followed by what seems to be kind of like a trapezoid, but not really since it's curved. But what we can see through those little curved trapezoids is that we have sort of a rotation. Once again, you see the little part that touches the square. As the trapezoids go around the little square, the part on the bottom that touches the square stays in the center, stays touching the square. So those parts do not move, they stay the same way. In Deep Ellum now, and we can see we have a mural right here. And what do you guys think the focal point of this mural is? The eye. Do y'all see all the animals right here we have? I don't know what that is. Maybe a deer or something. An anteater. Looking up there. A lion. The hen going towards it. The bird as well is going towards that eye. It sees it all. We see, and in the background we have a horizon. But we can see, like, the background doesn't really matter. We can just see the little horizon back there, but nothing else. There's nothing else on it. Everything seems to be leading towards the eye. So you know how in some cultures you said the eye is what sees it all? So maybe that's why all the animals are looking towards it. The eye is what sees it all. You see the hen is kind of reaching over, and we can see the bird has a little key, so maybe it's the key to get it, to get the person, whoever's in that tree, out of there. Just kind of reaching over, maybe trying to get a hold of the key, or maybe reaching over towards the eye, trying to capture it so he can see it, what's going on the outside. And we see, like, up here we have an owl. The owls usually come out at night, so we see darkness on top, except for that little ball of fire on the street towards the left, but everything else around the eye. So we have this art piece, as you can see. This is the middle of the art piece. I don't know, I got it all. So there you go, the whole piece. And what we can tell from this art piece is that it doesn't really have many lines. The lines that it has is the buildings, but they're not like really finished lines. They did not go, there's not a horizon or anything like that, a horizontal line or anything like that. But we can see a vertical line, but it's a building, and then you can see right here it's not even finished, so it doesn't really go into anywhere. And not having any kind of lines in the art piece shows us that the creator of this piece really didn't want anything to be a focal point. The name of the art piece is Downtown Playground by J. Lynn Kelly. And since she was trying to show us that downtown was a playground, and we can see maybe like our focal point is these people that are right there. And what do you think they're doing? Yeah, they're climbing up the building, kind of like a little slide or something. They're trying to go up. So we can see that nothing really is our main point through this. The creator of the art piece wanted us to look at everything the same way and actually take in how downtown looks and how we can use it as a playground.